method IDs you provided. I know it's not user-friendly script to understand, but once you know the format, you can create a script that will auto-generate it and always perform those batch operations. And you saw the actual difference, oh, why did I cancel? My bad. Yeah. Okay, it's done here. So you see the script here? This is the result, which is returned from also Microsoft RPC methodology. It says the ID, because I created ID general, I could have specified a string actually, not only numeric. It's up to you how you specify it, but it told you this ID, it returned the code 0. 0 means it was successful. Unless a minus something, you have a list of other errors or code errors, so it means something, happened which is not right. So, but as long as the code is 0, you're on the safe side. So actually, this is the actual format, This is the methodology of add. The same applies for update, and the same applies for delete as well. So you always have to create this script. The final, actually, the next methodology is that after I have added this, I also updated some items, 10,000 items at a time, using also different methodologies. One using the link queue, the object model, the RPC. So this took around 106 seconds. You can see it here. (106 seconds). This is using the link queue model. And using the normal SP list item class, took around 53 seconds, even less. And using the RPC, took 47. So I create for you a table of those operations, when it's best to use what, for which mode, delete, update. It's not always, the same. But one thing, is that always the RPC, has significantly, a better result. You can see here 47, seconds for the RPC compared to 53 in the object model. RPC still for add and for update is the number one, in terms of performance. But imagine you are not adding 1,000 items or 500 items. You are adding much more, in reality, maybe 1 million or 2 million or 3 million. So scale-wise and this percentage-wise, it can take, up to days sometimes, if you are dealing with very large numbers, So, and the same thing actually here is that I upgraded also for delete, and delete never ever use the object model, ever. You will see also from the scale why, because simply the object model takes much more, using the RPC, signal 3.5 seconds to delete 1,000 items, 3.5 seconds, while it took for the object model 68.7 seconds. 3.5, 68. You see the difference. You can make it, And for the link queue, took 86 as well. So you can see always, that RPC is still number one in terms of these, scenarios. I will show you a table after all, when we reach the finding. But I will also want to run those operations for you one more time. I will create these operations, the current operation for the object model, the SP list item class, the RPC, the link queue, the update as well, the delete as well. But for the get, there are more various, methodologies to retrieve items. One more advantage, you have to use the portal sitemap provider. The portal sitemap provider is a much more, appreciated and recommended approach when you are just getting items, a read-only operation to retrieve items. Why? Because it is getting also a cached version of your items. So you have methods like get cache list item, get cache list. So every get cache, and then what cached object am I getting? So in this scenario, the portal sitemap provider is caching actually, your items. So it's up to you how you are actually, setting the cache policy. You can go to the central administration, to the site collection administration, and set the cache, policy from there, how you are going to cache, and you can flush also, cache items from there. So you can set the interval and what is the size of the cache you want to set. So this needs some careful, consideration from the administrators how you are setting the cache. But once you are setting an appropriate cache size and interval, you can, really achieve optimal results when getting, the cached version from the portal sitemap provider. And it's clearly a better approach for getting cache items, and combine it with the SP query class, using the kernel, syntax, so you can really optimize, your retrieval, operation. I show you also, but the tools I've used here, I've shown you the Redgate Ansible profiler, but the results here is that we have different, operations like add operation, delete operation, update operation, and get operations. Using the SP list item class, the RPC, the enqueue. For example, to add items, you can clearly see the difference, in add. RPC is the best 533, while here you can see the large numbers, in SP list and enqueue. So clearly, if you add items, use the RPC, using the XML and the process batch data, or use the web service, because it's very similar to the process batch data. The process batch data is a method with the SP web class. So just keep in mind, process batch data, pass to the XML syntax, and execute operation. To add batch operations, use the RPC. If you add deleting as well, also use the RPC. Clearly, it's much more powerful, than using the SP list object model or the enqueue wrapper. So for add and delete, keep in mind, it's all the RPC. To update items, still RPC is the best.
In the add, the enqueue takes 400 flows.
Yeah.
While the RPC takes 500.
No, this is for 1,000 items. Not one. You see here, because here I operate them on 10,000 items. Well, here for enqueue I operate them on 1,000. So if you multiply it's 440. Oh, sorry. My bad. 440 yes. They were similar. Yes. But never with the SP list item. They are very similar. Enqueue is significantly maybe better here, but from my previous experiences, RPC was similar. But sometimes on the machine or so, they are similar. And I have not performed this test on 10,000 and 1,000. I believe if I continue the test with 10,000, it will maybe drop a bit, increase a bit somewhere, but the overall would be, the RPC would be a bit much more better. So he is actually assuming for myself. It's not really the actual test results. I just multiplied by 10. But the actual test results were for 1,000 here. The update, no huge significance between the RPC and the SP list item, but between them and the enqueue. Still, RPC, keep it in mind, for add, delete, or update, usually it performs better. You still have to test it by yourself. You have to run your own, findings and tests, based on your local machine, because it might perform better on machines than other machines. So this is my current machine, but you can perform it on other machines and see the difference. But retrieval is totally different. By retrieval, both actually, you will always notice, and I will show you that in my demo code, is that the first attempt you try, is caching. The second attempt will be a version. So always the first attempt is slow. SharePoint, this is how it's working, is caching things. So from the best practice actually in SharePoint, if you go to technique, articles or Microsoft, best practices SharePoint, related articles, you will always, see recommendations to cache your data tables retrieved from SP list item collection class. So whenever you are getting, your items back, cache them. because, you know, again and again, SharePoint itself is